Hey everyone, welcome to Was That in Good Taste? We got a very special Passover episode for us today. I am one of your hosts, and my name is Chandler Phillips.
I'm James Beery. I don't even know what to do. Sometimes I'm like, oh, you can throw it to me. Sometimes I jump in. I don't know.
You're just going to be passive this episode. This is my episode.
Yeah.
You're just living in it.
This is, oh, man. But first, make sure you do the thing, comment, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to ring the bell as well. All the statistics, they say that 99 billion of you who watch this and listen to this don't subscribe. Come on. Come on. We're trying to start the cult here. Come on.
Figure it out.
We can't be the next Nexium if you're not giving us 5 stars. Thank you.
At least a comment, you know? Make us feel something.
Make me feel something.
Make me feel good.
So it's oh my God. So this is coming out on the last day of Passover?
The very last day. Because it started Wednesday, April 5th at sundown. I didn't pick the day. I didn't know how
Who
it
did?
goes. The Jewish calendar, which is a different calendar.
Who made that?
Fuck if I know, dude.
Damn.
That one's look. The other one, the Gregorian calendar, we at least got some dude named Greg to be like, hey, he made that one.
There's always some dude named Greg.
It's always some
But
dude.
you know he didn't do the work.
No, he just took the credit for it. He was like,
course.
this is my calendar now.
He was like, they're like, he was up there, they came up with a nice name like Maps Forever or something. And then he gets the calendars forever. He gets up on the stage and like, what's it called? He goes, Gregorian? Gregorian.
Gregorian. And so we got 12 months.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Everyone's going to love it. Anyway, but no, the Passover, all the Jewish holidays are based on the Jewish calendar. And I don't know what the Jewish calendar is all about. I don't know what cycle it's on. I don't know how to read a Jewish calendar.
What are the Jewish holidays?
Oh, dude, there's so many. And they're all about how at one point in time, things were bad. And then they got better. And that is like 89% of Jewish holidays was like, hey, remember that time where shit was like really bad? Well, let's celebrate because we're not dead.
Some of these are pretty close to each other.
Dude, the September ones are all like squished together.
Yom Kippur and Sukkot is like 4 days after that.
Yeah, Rosh Hashanah, and then like a week or so, and then it's Yom Kippur, and then
Oh yeah, it's literally Rosh
Sukkot.
Hashanah, then it's Yom Kippur, then it's Sukkot, and then it's Simchat Torah. I don't know what that one really is.
I mean, they just keep adding a new holiday every time we survive.
It's very similar
some
to
trauma.
like all the. That's a lot.
It's a lot of holidays that
It
have
is.
built up.
It's very similar. It's interesting. There's 8, and there's like 4 major ones and 4 minor ones. Just like the pagan holidays. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Well, it's funny you say that, because also a lot of Christian holidays seem to kind of just fall right around
Exactly.
the Jewish holidays.
Oh, no, I know, right? Magically.
Just magically. And I think one of the biggest upsets that I want to get into later in the episode after we do the whole like Seder thing
Yeah.
is just like how obnoxiously Christianity copied Jewish homework for Easter. It's like they were just looking over the shoulder the entire time like, oh, okay, so that's how they did that. All right, cool. Tight.
That's cool. Oh,
You guys hid a thing too? Well, we're going to hide more things. And it's going to have
They have colors
and
hookers
and chocolate and and then we're
and our our prophet, like they killed him, but he couldn't die. He came back to life because he's immortal.
He's unstoppable.
He's immortal. They're like, it's not cool, man.
It's like,
you gotta give him weakness. It's not cool. How come he can just get to come back? 3 days, man. It takes 3 days.
Christian holidays are like, you go, pshum, pshum, and you're like, okay, I got you. You're dead. And they're like, nuh-uh. No, I got invincibility armor from God. And you're like, bro, that's my God. And he's like, nuh-uh.
It's like everything. It's like, I'm pregnant. Who got you pregnant? God.
You mean Jewish God? Nuh-uh. It's Christian God now. He likes us better now. It's so fucking annoying.
I think it's really interesting that like Jesus died and then they just made a new religion. Like they didn't like reinforce, like they didn't go like he died and be like, man, Judaism. Because he died.
Well, I think it's crazy that he died. And then they're like, but he came back. And it's like, who leaves a party just to show up like 3 days later? And it's like, you didn't even help clean up after the party. And now you're just going to crash on the couch for a bit? And
then did you see how the way he left that cave?
Right? It was a mess. It was just... Wait, you mean like... So I let him crash in my cave for like 3 days. And then he just dips again. And it's like, a thank you. Or like maybe even like help deflate the air mattress or something. But I
know he's the Son of God.
He thinks he's the Son of God.
Every time I go in the bathroom, he says he's just laying hands. He said he's just curing them of leprosy. But that's not what it looked like what they were doing.
Okay, so like I showed up to the potluck and I brought fish and I brought bread and like everyone was supposed to bring fish and bread. And so we did, right? And then we all put it together. And then Jesus shows up. And he's just like, hey, I multiplied all this fish and bread and it's for everyone. It's like, you didn't bring anything. You just... I just can't with this guy.
He's like, actually, like my powers made you bring the fish and bread.
And it's like...
Douchebag Jesus.
Like, okay, I like the guy. He's all like peace and love and everything. But then like, he just goes into the temple and starts beating the shit out of a bunch of moneylenders. And it's like, that's my job. Like, that's how I make a living. And you're just going to beat them up just for, it's like, dude, like chill, right? It's like people got to survive. It's like minus 23 BC. Like, chill out, dude.
You heard what Michael was saying the other day?
No.
He was like, they get older, we stay the same age.
He's so gross. And you know what really pisses me off is like, what? Did you hear Peter? Where like, okay, so Jesus left, right? And then Peter's all like, oh, well, who's going to be in charge now? You know, he said it was going to be me. And it's like, this isn't Succession. It's like, just like, wait for a little bit, okay? Like, his body's not even cold yet.
He's not even dead yet.
He said he was going to come back. And you're already like, oh, And
you didn't tip.
It's just awful. And I had a friend who was waiting on him at that whole thing. And not only did he not tip, they just ordered water. And then all of a sudden it's like everyone decided to BYOB and it's just wine everywhere. And it's like
last minute. It's like, I'm Jesus and I have my 12 friends with me, my disciples. So, listen, and like, I don't know what you're into. Call them whatever you want.
There's a sign that says no outside food or drink. And so I don't know how they got the wine in there. But like, I guess they just snuck it in or something. It's just...
It's pretty hard when Jesus is running around. He's running around being like, look, I'm turning water into wine.
Right? And we were at the beach the other day, and like he did this funny thing where it's like there was a sandbar, and he's like, oh, I'm walking on water. And like we all laughed because we're like, oh, that's a good bit. But then like he kept doing it like in front of strangers and stuff. And he was like, it's like, okay, we get it. Like, it's a miracle. Yeah. But like,
come back. I'm here every day, 9 to 5.
It's like, it's hacky at that point. It's just hack.
Just imagine Jesus with like, his hair slicked back. Like frat Jesus, maybe.
I'm thinking more like a Chris Angel Jesus.
I love a Chris Angel Jesus.
Just mind freaked.
He's like, yeah. I just see it like he's like water into wine. And then it cuts.
Say the
it's literally like a whole different room. There are different people in the room, And then it cuts back to the original room. He's like, Jesus.
Mind freaked. Faith. Absolution. We're talking about Jesus a lot for a Passover episode.
Jews for Jesus. That's a thing.
I know it's a thing. It's kind of like it's like someone rooting for Draco. Like,
oh fuck. Oh man.
We're like, because the whole thing is about like, oh, Jesus, he was a guy. Wasn't the best guy. I mean, he wasn't a bad guy, but he wasn't the guy. And a bunch of people are like,
Jews and Muslims have so much in common.
That's the whole so we'll get into it later.
Because right, so we got to Seder first.
With the whole like messianic thing, there's a whole hullabaloo. And the whole Jewish thing is like there wasn't enough of a hullabaloo from God about Jesus coming. Like Elijah didn't come back. We didn't hear no trumpets or anything. And like
that's like important, but not that important.
He just kind of shoehorned himself into our own.
He's like, I'm the son of God. And it's like, okay, but like, so am I.
It's like we're all God's children. So like, what makes you so special?
Fuck.
Anyway, we're getting into the Seder. We got a fun little Seder plate.
Hardly knew her. Oh, God.
That's terrific. That won't be the first time, nor the last.
No.
So we got a fun little vegan Seder plate here, adorned with various items that I didn't really realize until having to put together a Seder plate just how many bitter herbs are supposed to be on here. Because like every religion has like their number. And for Jews, it's 6. The Star of David has 6 points. And then the things on a Seder, there's 6 things. And though 8 is kind of important too, because that's usually the amount of days for things. But anyway, 6 is a big number. 8's a big number. 7's also pretty groovy sometimes. We don't fuck with 9 at all. 9 can go suck a dick.
Oh.
Just saying. We're kind of glad it got eaten by 7.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm getting too lost in the sauce here because I'm not gonna have time to explain all the fun things that are on here. We got our covered plate of matzah. We got our glasses of wine. Or our glasses for wine. We got our salt water. We got our hand washing stuff. We even found a fun little kosher for Passover rye whiskey. However,
that you can hear us talk about on the tasting table.
Exactly. We're actually not going to be drinking that during this episode. And if you want to find out why it's so mysterious,
hit the thing if it works, and down in the description for the link.
Do it. So I got a couple of bullet points here.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Exodus. Let's talk about you and me. So, all right. Passover, a.k.a. Pesach, is a week-long Jewish holiday in which Jews around the world celebrate the story of our ancient tribe's exodus from Egypt and servitude and slavery. The whole story of like Moses and all that jazz, and how he appealed to the Pharaoh at the time, and then he was like, let my people go, and then he was like, no, and then he was like, come on, and he was like, I'm not gonna do it, and then he's like, I'm gonna send God in, he's gonna give you a bunch of plagues, and then Pharaoh's like, oh, enough with the plagues already, all right, fine, you guys can go. And so we leave, and then he's like, I know I said no takesies backsies, but y'all should come backsies, because you're not actually free yet. And then Moses and all the Israelites in Egypt were like, fucking gun it, dude. So there was like a back and forth over whether or not Jews could be freed from the Egyptian rulers. So I like to say Passover is a Juneteenth, so to speak, in which it's kind of a week of ambiguous freedom, but you have to grab it for yourself. Like, it's there. She didn't really know it was
like free
there.
from what?
Free from
Whatever you want, sweetie.
Yeah, it's like you're free. Are we? Are we though? Because like all the people who would otherwise not say we're free still don't want us to be free. So I guess we should start at the beginning.
Okay.
Abraham did the thing where God was like, hey, you're my guy now. You're going to be called the Israelites. You got to sacrifice your son, and we'll be A-okay. And, like, here's a bunch of rules and stuff.
He goes,
And he's
God
like,
goes,
whoa.
Hey, psych.
It was just a prank, bro.
Just
it was just a fucking prank.
Whoa.
You were going to do it.
You were going to do it?
Actually do it. You're fucking crazy, my dude.
You're crazy, man.
I fuck with you guys. I fuck with you guys heavy.
Do you see this guy? He was going to kill his own son.
That's wild. So then a couple generations pass, and then there's Joseph. He becomes the leader of the Israelites, and they're kind of a nomadic tribe wandering about, just looking for a place to hang their head. And eventually, Joseph develops some sort of he gets in the good graces of the Egyptian pharaoh, and this is, I don't know, some ancient year way back when, and so he works out a deal where he's like, yeah, we'll live in Egypt. We'll help build some stuff. You know, we'll be essentially your labor force if you let us settle here. And everything was good for a bit. And then a couple years later, a couple generations later, shit wasn't so groovy anymore. There was a bit of a rift where it was like, there once was some like decent compensation, and then it just kind of stopped being so equitable, you know? Like things got kind of whack for the Jews. And so
I'm learning.
At certain points, the pharaohs, have you ever seen Prince of Egypt?
I mean, of course.
Oh, you know the story.
Of course.
You see, okay. Long story short,
we've all seen the Prince of Egypt.
Go watch the Prince of Egypt again. Anyway,
and that 2 hours of the 10 Commandments.
The whole 10 Commandments?
No, 2 hours of it.
Wait.
Because the part with Moses.
Oh,
and
right.
like, because there's like a whole part. It's like 2 hours of it.
That's a long ass movie.
It's like 16 hours or some shit.
Oh my
God.
crazy. Goodness.
I just made that up. It's long though.
I believe it. So yeah, just total prerequisite. This is going to be a super abridged version of a Passover Seder. We're going to really cut the prayers down. We might do a couple of blessings. I'm not going to do all the sing song.
I'm here. Oh shit.
We might do a sing song. We might do Dayenu because that one's a bop.
All right. Okay. Okay.
You know that one. And Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu.
Oh,
I like that.
That one's a bop. So generations pass. Pharaoh starts doing some shit where he's like, "Hey, it's kind of what happened with Russian and the pogroms in Russia, where they're just like, we have our communities of Jewish people. Every now and then, there's a few too many of them, so we're just gonna send in some soldiers and just kind of cull them back a little bit. Historically, there have been cullings of Jewish communities, and this is kind of the most, or the most historical, furthest reaching back to date of that tradition of the Goyim going, those Jews, there's too many of them. And so one day,
look of shock.
He does, right? One day he does this.
Never heard that before.
And one Jewish woman who had just had a baby, she's like, they're gonna send some goddamn soldiers up in my house, and they're gonna kill my fucking baby. They're probably gonna kill me too. So you know what? I'm gonna put this baby in a little wicker basket. I'm gonna send him down the Nile River. Now, you ever watch like a National Geographic on what the fuck is in the Nile River?
Oh, yes.
So many things. So many things that can eat a baby. Like crocodiles, hippopotami, snakes, so many things. And she's like, yeah, it's a better idea to just send this little baby Moses down the river. And she sends him down the river. A little bit further down, the Pharaoh's daughter is taking a bath.
God, fuck. I'm sorry. I just realized that like, weird power fantasy like the Moses story is. It's like he's poor. His mother like put him in the river. And he just so happens to get like picked up by the royal family.
Yeah.
And like, now he's a prince.
And now he's a prince. He's just adopted by the royal family. He's raised alongside the heir to the pharaoh as like they're brothers now. They're just essentially, he's adopted, but they're brothers. They're fucking brothers.
And maybe Moses would be a better king too. Maybe people like him more. Maybe some people like him.
Maybe
there's some jealousy. Maybe there's not no jealousy.
I mean, everyone knows who the heir is. But there's a little bit of family contention here and there. And at one point, Moses is he's kind of fed up with the whole thing, the whole shebang. Like he's like, this whole royalty thing. It kind of seems like maybe we should eat the rich, and maybe I'm a bounce for a little bit. I'm gonna go on a little vision quest. So he goes into the desert. He hangs out for a bit. He ends up stumbling upon a farming community, and he becomes a shepherd for a hot minute. And one day, while tending a flock, which flocks are so, like...
They require so much tending.
They require a lot of tending, but, like, the whole Bible trope of, like, Jesus is the shepherd, the lamb, the flock, it's all very lamb-related. I don't know.
There's a lot of focus of lamb.
Wake up, sheeple.
That was Moses' thing.
That was his thing. He was woke. And you know what got him woke?
What was it?
He was out in the desert. He was tending his flock, and he saw a burning bush. This is the story. See,
this little burning bush.
He's burning a little bush, and God spoke to him through the burning bush. And
I never really thought about the way that it's even the way it's worded.
He's kind of
like through the bush,
the bush, man. And he has a bit of a Mufasa moment where he's like, "Remember who you are, Moses. You're a Jew.
Here are some rules. I'm gonna give them to you."
Oh no, this is even before the rules.
Oh, this is before.
This is before the rules.
That's because
you're jumping ahead a little bit.
I'm a little stoned. He climbed the mountain then.
I'm
sorry. He didn't burn in the bush.
He hasn't even climbed the mountain yet. He's just.
I wanted to hear something.
This is just Moses just vibing with his sheep.
Yes, and then he goes back to the community. He's like, the bush was talking.
He's like, yo, this bush was saying some crazy shit, and he's like, hey, shit's not so good around here, and
because they had the big statues and shit. They had all the false idols.
Yeah. Oh no, this is even before.
This is before the false idols.
This is before the commandments.
I know all of this from movies. Okay, so
the burning bush happens before he even like gets any political pull among like.
Oh,
he's literally just the guy. He's just the
guy.
He was once a prince. Now he's just the guy. He was tending a flock.
It's like that. Oh, just a small loan of $1 million.
Exactly. Just a small.
just a sheep herder. Just did it by himself. He was just a sheep herder. If a regular person was like, hey, this burning bush was like, hey, stuff is not good, they'd be like,
Shut the fuck up. You had some bad wine, dumbass.
But they're all like, this is Moses. He's actually a prince. It's like undercover,
It's undercover Bob.
Undercover Pharaoh.
Yeah.
It's like this new guy, Jaquan. Like, I don't know, man. Like, we're just in here getting whipped, putting up like blocks. And like, he's just always sitting and never do anything to him. I just don't get it.
But then one day, like he steps up and he sees someone getting whipped and he's like, hey, don't do that.
And they stopped.
And so we're like, oh, I guess this guy is, kind of, he knows a guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal.
He's kind of a big deal. I guess he's Mr. Big Britches over here. So then there's a whole back and forth where he comes back and he's like, hey, Pharaoh, be cooler. And now it's his brother who's in charge. Or like former, like, I guess there's like his adopted brother.
Oh, oh yeah, because this is with the snakes and shit.
Yeah, so it's like, woo, magic tricks.
Yeah, but he's like, you need to be good because you're my brother. And his brother goes, but I'm the Pharaoh.
He's like, I'm the Pharaoh.
And he's like, well, you have to, or God is going to be angry with you.
And he's like, who's God? I am Pharaoh. Egyptian God didn't say shit to me. Like,
so then Moses is like,
I am God.
The snake is gonna bite you if you like fuck around. And then he's like, ah.
And then so then there's a series of like attempted negotiations to be like, hey, can you kind of ease up a little on the whole like whippings and like, because that's not really it's not a healthy workplace environment.
Like not even the slavery, just tune back on the whippings a little bit.
Yeah, just tune it back. Like, okay,
nobody said nothing about slavery. Nobody said nothing about that. Just whip him less.
And so, yeah, it was an appeasement strategy. He was like, come on, man. And he's like, bro, I'm Pharaoh. Like, if I start going easy on you guys, I'm going to have to go easy on all the other slaves. And then Moses is like, yeah, but like, come on. Like, these are my people. And Pharaoh's like, I thought I was your people. And he's like, well, come on, man. Like, that's just because the rest of my family was murdered when I was a baby. And the only reason we're cool is because your mom had baby fever. And so it was a whole back and forth. And eventually Pharaoh's like, I'm not going to let you go. Like, we're done. We're done negotiating. Case closed. And so Moses got the Jews to unionize. But before he did that, he's like, all right, I'm going to curse you. I mean, God is going to curse you. I'm not going to do shit. This is all God. This is on God.
On God.
You're going to get some plagues. God's going to be angry. All your shit is going to get wrecked. And if you don't let us go, shit's going to get bad real quick. I'm not threatening you. Yeah. I'm not saying this.
This is just here.
This is, hey, look, sometimes.
Chekhov's plagues.
Sometimes, you fuck around a bit. You got to find out a bit.
Yeah, you fuck around, you get some locusts.
And so there's a series of plagues, and we'll get into that as well. But so yada yada yada. There's 10 plagues.
Yada yada yada. 10 plagues.
Da 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 da. 10 plagues. Eventually, Pharaoh's like, "Oh my God, this last one was kind of a doozy. All right, just get your shit and leave. Just get out of here. Just take the 101 and just go to La Cienega Boulevard and just get your shit and leave. Okay, Moses?
Like, I could kill you, but I'm like, just gonna just.
And it's like all this plague bullshit. We're done. You know what? Just get out of here. And so Moses is like, all right, bet. And they dip. Like they fucking go and they gun it. And they're like, okay, we're gonna get the fuck out of Egypt. And then they get to the Red Sea, right? And they're like, oh, there's a big ass ocean here. And then at this point, Pharaoh's like, psych, y'all thought I was gonna let you just leave? You're a free workforce. You think I'm just gonna let y'all go? No. And so then Moses is like, all right. And then he parts the Red Sea, right?
Big dick energy.
Big dick energy.
Yeah, imagine.
Big staff energy.
Or just imagine being like chased down. You're like, yo, God.
Can you do one more thing for us?
You got me?
Can you? Yo, God, this is gonna be real fucking sick.
Hey, God, it's me, Moses.
Are you there, God? It's me, Moses. Remember that time where you were like, you Jews are pretty tight. Well, it turns out we're in a bit of a bind. And I need your help one more time. And so through Moses, God parts the Red Sea, and the Jews are able to cross it. And the Pharaoh and his chariot horsemen and his army
they all fall.
They're right on their heels. And so as soon as the last Jew gets out of the bank, that sounded bad. The beach, the shore, then the walls of the waves come crashing back in.
Wow, I'm really enthralled right now. I'm like really. I don't know if you noticed. I'm like into it right now.
I'm a good storyteller.
Like I see it. Yeah, I feel like the rush of the water against the back of my neck, the splash of the surf,
drip, splash.
You just look back and and your enemies are vanquished, and there's now an ocean between you and your enemies. And finally, after
there's the ocean. There's where you just came from.
Yeah.
And you're out of the frying pan, but now you're just in a desert. And you're like, well, fuck, now what? Now what? What do you do now?
I mean,
God said he'd get us out, but now what?
Well, God said, keep going.
So we keep going. And eventually, this part's not part of Passover, but there's a bit of a wandering. There's like, okay, where do we go now? They bounce around from place to place because now they're unemployed too. It's kind of like that weird middle ground where you're like, do I just try to, go back to like a serving job or like,
or do I kick it back a little bit? Do I,
maybe get a little, maybe I should start my own business or something. But that's not about Passover. That's actually more of what Sukkot and stuff get into with the whole like makeshift, the sukkah, the huts and stuff. But honestly, I haven't done enough research on those holidays. I've just
looking forward to the Sukkot episode.
Dude, me too. So anyway, Passover. That's the story of Passover. It was how we got out of Egypt way back when. And so all the things.
Oh my God! So all the holidays have like continuity. So like Passover isn't the whole story.
No, that's just episode 1. Actually, that's not even episode 1. That's like
it's like episode 7 because it's like in the middle.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the prequels because like that's where the whole Abraham and like Isaac, and then you get into the Joseph and the technicolored, the multicolored
technicolored jacket or whatever. That
something like that. Which that's a whole fucking weird story too, where it's like, you got like 10 or so siblings, and then one of them's like kind of spacey, and then one day he's like, God said I'm gonna be the ruler of all of you one day, and then all the other like older brothers and stuff are like, the fuck you are, that's not how this works, bud. Like, what the fuck you mean? Anyway, so now we get into the actual, like, the rules of Passover. So the reason why we don't have, or we're not supposed to have leavened bread, and that's anything that's risen with yeast, is because it's supposed to symbolize the haste in which the Jews left Egypt, and that's what matzah is all about. We had to leave so fast we couldn't even let the bread rise, and so we eat flatbreads on this holiday in order to remember that. I didn't realize there was such a thing as soft matzah. Because I've been seeing like TikToks and Instagram reels and stuff of people making like flatbread sandwiches with matzah, but like all of the matzah I've ever seen.
I mean, but if you think about it, it makes sense because it's just unleavened. That doesn't mean it has to be a cracker.
No, but like the way in which it would cook. Apparently soft matzah is even theoretically more similar to what they had in the ancient times, because there's some Torah interpretations that are like saying that the matzah was like 1.5 inches thick or something, and
because they weren't doing it like this. They weren't carrying around that machine that pokes the holes in the matzah. They weren't doing that. They were making a simple dough like you would at home,
and just toasting it
without yeast. So it's most likely, and they didn't have rolling pins. They would use like their hands and rocks and stuff like that.
They probably had rolling pins.
With the haste.
Oh well, I mean,
enough time. Maybe they had them, but not enough time.
Yeah,
But
like it's.
But I could imagine it'd be like focaccia thickness.
I could see that. Well, not focaccia. Focaccia's,
but not with the bumps though. But just the
more like a no-rise pizza dough.
Yeah.
Like that kind of flatbread. I'd never seen those before, and honestly, I kind of thought it was cheating because like the whole like matzah's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like a shittier saltine. I want to be honest.
That's a fact.
It's not a great.
You want to talk about haste? It's also the pain. The dry.
It's like I thought the whole aspect of matzah not being that good is all part of the whole like remembering how we suffered thing, because everything else on this fucking plate is about remembering how we suffered. So I was like, yeah, of course the matzah is not going to be good. It's a fucking cracker, and it's dry and it's arid, much like the oh no, did I get beet juice on the nice white towel?
Who cares? I'm trying to make it look nice for the camera.
It has to be somewhat covered, there's a plate of 3 matzahs, and what we're going to do at one point is I'm going to take the middle one and I'm going to break it, and then I'm going to hide it, and that's called the afikomen. And at the
and you find it, you get like candy or something.
Yeah, you get a little treat. You win.
Yeah.
You get dessert, essentially. Another thing that the Christians ripped off from us, we had an afikomen. They turned it into a whole bunch of fucking Easter eggs. This is bullshit. But yeah, so more popular in like Sephardic traditions is the soft matzahs coming out, and apparently they make it now in order to like help preserve it. Is like they'll cook it and then they'll freeze it. And freeze it immediately, because there's like a whole timing thing with the preparation too, where it has to be made in in order to be as kosher as possible. Another thing I learned recently is the different traditions between Sephardic and Ashkenazic food allowances, because the whole thing with Ashkenazic traditions is you can't have any grains. Especially what's called chametz. Chametz? Yeah. And that's so yeah, no yeast risen stuff. So we can't even do like our regular challah, which that shit's good.
It is good.
That shit's way better than matzah. But we can't even do shit with wheat, oats, barley, spelt, or rye, which is why we can't have this fun little kosher rye recipe buffalo trace during our Seder. But it's okay. I have our favorite Slivovitz kosher plum brandy, chametz free. So if we ever want to get a little, just a little fun during this episode,
maybe
we still have 4 glasses of wine to get through, as per tradition.
And I'm ready for it. I've been waiting for this fucking wine.
So, in addition to chametz, there's also what's known as kintiot. That's legumes, beans, stuff that is assumed to be harvested in the same way that the grains are. And in Ashkenazic traditions, those are also off the table.
Oh.
But in Sephardic traditions, those are A-okay. You can have rice, you can have corn, you can have millet, you can have lentils, you can have beans, you can have legumes.
That sounds much easier.
Right?
I want to do that one.
I want to do that one too. It was kind of bullshit. Let's see. Is there any other like pre-fluff stuff that I wanted to get into? Okay, no. All right, we're gonna get into the Haggadah. Let's get it started. The Haggadah is basically the run of play, the run of show for Passover. And the one I'm using is from fedweb.org, and it was put together from the Jewish Federations of North America, which represents and serves 155 Jewish federations and 400 independent Jewish communities across North America. And so yeah, this is a pretty legit Haggadah. There's plenty of other ones that have a lot more detail, a lot more variation to their stories. There's also different intensities. I'd say sects, but let's just call it degrees, because it's like some of them really turn up the Jewishness, and some of the other ones like I'm real reform, like hell of reform, like when we talk about bitter herbs and burning bush, you know what I'm talking.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, but if you want to learn more about Jewish traditions, Passover traditions, and how like more intense, or how not intense, but how traditional Seders are supposed to go, check out the websites for the Union of Reform Judaism, United Synagogue for Conservative Judaism, the OrthodoxUnion.org. Jewish Reconstructionist Federation, and Chabad.org. With that said, we got our fun little Seder plate here, and I'm just briefly go over what all the things are. So we have a little bit of beet, and this is actually the first vegan substitution that we got on the plate. And it's actually kind of important, the placement of it on the plate, because there's like a specific order that we're supposed to do it all. But the beets here are Zeroa? Yeah. Zeroa. And it's a typically roasted lamb bone or chicken bone, and it's supposed to represent sacrifice, the sacrifice of the Israelites underneath Egyptian rule, and the sacrifice of what we had to leave behind as we exodused. But also the whole like putting lamb's blood on the door to evade the final plague of
babies being murdered,
the killing of the firstborn child or firstborn son.
Yeah.
Which that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like that really fucking.
And then the Pharaoh was like, "Oh man, I definitely wish I would. The first one, I kind of wish I had."
He was like, "You guys should have started with that one."
Like, oh shit! You gotta save the best for last.
So exactly, you gotta. It's a build. It's a slow build, but it's a build. And then going clockwise, we have haroset, which is a mixture of nut, fruit, wine, and spices, meant to symbolize the mortar that the Jews worked with, our trade material when building structures and settlements and whatnot in Egypt. That was like we were builders essentially. And so that's what
like Jesus.
Sure. I mean, he did it with wood, which is kind of ironic because, like, then he got nailed to wood.
Like, it's a pretty ironic way to die.
That's a pretty ironic way to go. It's like, oh, I'm a carpenter. It's like, okay, try to get that nail out.
Oh, fuck. If the way that you work is the way you die? Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
As a comedian, I am terrified for that. And then, so we got haroset, that's the mortar. And then we have maror.
Maror?
I don't know if you got to roll that one. I'm kind of. Nah. You don't have to. Maybe maror. That's the first bitter herb, and that one's supposed to represent the bitterness of slavery. And then we got some other fun bitter herbs and stuff about. There's like 3 different things on this that all represent the misery of servitude, which, like, in today's age, it kind of fits.
I know, right?
Like, Passover is really all about unionizing.
Hey, we win.
It's like, so we got.
And by we, I mean the Jews, not I, who's not a Jewish person.
I feel like Passover and the plight of African Americans in America, there's a lot of crossover.
If only we can get more black people to like more Jewish people.
If only. That's
what we're doing here. We're building a coalition.
And that's what I kind of was hoping that, like, Holes would, like the movie Holes would just kind of mend race relations between Jewish people and black people in America. Anyway. So yeah, maror, that's the bitter herb, represents the bitterness of slavery. Then karpas,
is
another
this cilantro? What is this?
That's parsley.
It's parsley.
Italian parsley, actually. And that also represents another bitter herb that we dip into salt water later that represents the tears that we cried while in servitude.
All right, here we go.
But the greenery, it represents spring.
Oh,
springtime.
Hey, there's something good.
Rebirth.
It's like torture. Green.
Then we have
jokes for leaves.
Who is this? Leave Shriver. Then we got haroset, which is another bitter herb. Here we have some romaine lettuce, and this one's kind of optional.
Is that a bitter herb?
It's bitter enough. It's really like, so this one, there's a couple of Haggadahs that I looked at that don't even have this. But it's sometimes included to help with assisting eating the maror, because we do have to eat a little bit of the horseradish. We have to eat a little bit of the parsley, the horseradish, and the
God, I'm just
and the charoset.
I'm just here. All right.
And then on this side, usually, like traditionally, this would be an egg, but now we have a lemon.
We have a lemon.
And it's really, you just needed something circular to represent the cycle of life and rebirth and, sunrise, sunset,
And I wanted to put an orange, but I forgot to get the orange.
So we found another citrus fruit.
Yeah.
So when I was looking up vegan options for the Seder plate, there was something that was like, you could do like a walnut or something, but like if you want to be even more progressive, go with an orange or a lemon or something. And I didn't quite understand what that was a reference to. And you said you did. What?
Yeah. So effectively, there's like this professor of Jewish studies at Dartmouth College, as reformjudaism.org right here, because this is actually a thing that people know. So effectively, whatever, people were like, man, lesbian bad. And she was like, man, Judaism is cool and you can kind of do whatever you want. So
the whole spirit of Judaism is just like, we make do with what we have, and it's all a symbol.
So the story is, I'm gonna read verbatim. The story that many have heard is that Heschel, while lecturing in Florida, was denounced by a man who said that a woman belongs in the bima, which I'm assuming, isn't that the section of I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm assuming that's like the segregated section of like when you're like worshiping. I don't fucking know.
I think you're right.
I think that's what it is.
Because, I mean, look, any really, really conservative religion is gonna be steeped in misogyny.
That she belongs. Oh, I see. Denounced by a man who said that a woman belongs wherever the fuck she was, as much as an orange belongs in a cedar plate.
Oh.
Yeah. So now that there are many female rabbis, Reform Judaism has made the inclusion of LGBTQ+, and that's what it says here on their website. Okay.
Fuck
and
yeah.
so they put oranges and shit to be like, hey, that represents queer people.
Yeah, I actually have a cousin who's a rabbi, or is a woman and a rabbi.
Oh.
Let's fucking go, Reform Judaism.
I'm just gonna say that, like, I follow that one Jewish creator on TikTok, the rabbi, and when they were going down to Brooklyn with all the other rabbis, I didn't see no women. So I'm just saying.
When you were going into like Orthodox,
yeah,
bro, yeah. So that's the thing. That's you can't
I
judge
know.
all of Judaism.
I know that
by what you just see in Williamsburg.
I know this.
Oh boy. All right. What? How do we go? All right. Okay. All right.
Also, can we just, because the Jews are pretty cool because they have like other genders, like a lot of other cultures and languages and shit. I'm just saying the Jews are cool about that shit. They literally have like other genders. They have like a man, a woman, and like a genderless, and then they just have different ones.
That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. Or, I mean,
I just follow queer Jewish. I mean, that's what they say though. Maybe they're just making shit up.
Well,
I know nothing about it except for what I see on TikTok. So
it makes sense though, because I mean, the whole spirit of Judaism, and we'll see that as we go through this Seder, is to ask questions and adapt our religion and our ethical base as the world changes around us. And it's not necessarily assimilating, but it's adapting to constantly changing situations. And I think that's something that I really appreciate about the faith, is that especially with Reform Judaism, is that traditions are only really there to help us remember. And as long as you sanctify remembering, the tradition itself doesn't have to stagnate.
I love that, because the point of the tradition is that I think it's one of the problems with like these modern religions is that it's not about the ritual. The ritual is like the part, like the facilitation of like your belief or whatever, but it's not about the ritual. You know what I mean? Like, and I think like even in Islam, they're like, like when it's Ramadan, if you don't feel good, you don't have to fast.
Yeah.
It's not about like the rituals have meaning. It's not about the act of just doing the ritual.
I remember in my Judaism studies class, one of the like first off the bat tenets is if a ritual or tradition could potentially harm someone, don't do it. Just don't. Like at any point, if your ritual can hurt, maim, or kill someone either in the faith or outside, it's like, no, that's not necessary.
Yep. It's like if you ever played like a trading card game, there's like a rule. The rule is always that like the rule on the card supersedes the rule of the game.
Yeah.
Right? Because the game has rules. But like when stuff happens, you look at the card says to do it, then you do it. Because things aren't stagnant. The rules.
What are the rules?
What are the rules?
Now, I'm gonna try to stay as
I'm here for it.
As close
I'm committed.
to the as close to the thing.
I'm here for it.
So if this were the Sabbath, I guess it says for the Sabbath or any Jewish holiday, traditionally women of the household or any individual would light 2 candles in honor of the holiness of the day, and then after lighting the candles, you recite a blessing that it goes Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel yom tov, which that's just, hey, thanks God. Here's some holiday lights. We appreciate you.
I wonder, cue you doing that 2 years ago.
Do we sanctify for Hanukkah?
Yeah.
Oh.
And have a video of it.
Nice.
If I can find it. It's going on the social media, not on this.
Love it. So now we sanctify the day with the first cup of wine, and it's this is sanctifying the day, the Kiddush, and we're holding the cup of wine in the right hand, and I'm gonna recite another prayer over the wine, and this one's for thanks God for creating the fruit of the vine.
Can I say right before we start?
Yeah.
This is make clear. I think it's very awesome. Whenever I like to do these kind of things, earnestly and with like respect, because it's like cool. And it's something that I like. I like being able to participate in this.
I really appreciate it because I don't get to explore my
Yeah.
heritage in this way.
So I hope that you're at home. You're here with us learning about Passover.
Pour yourself a glass of wine, and we're going to down this as soon as we finish up a couple of these blessings. And then we're going to pour another one. Fucking stoked. All right, so you got it in your right hand. This one say, thanks for the fruit on the vine. It goes, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafan.
Hagafan.
And let's see, there's, thank you, God, giving us this gift of festivals for joy, holiday, happiness among the day of Passover festival, liberation, a day of sacred assembly, recalling the Exodus from Egypt. This next blessing. All right, after this next blessing, we're gonna down that. We're gonna taste this wine because it's from Jerusalem. And wait, not what?
I was sipping.
Okay,
I'm smelling. I mean.
Okay, all right, all right.
I was doing this.
This is a fun little red blend that we got from Jerusalem.
Yeah.
All right, let's. This is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheyanu vikia manu vehiga yanu lazman hazeh. And then that one's just saying, hey God, you're a cool guy, king of the universe. You kept us in life, you sustained us, and you enabled us to reach this season. Hey, look, fam, we made it. Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Kobe.
So, we're gonna drink this first wine or first cup.
Do you have to drink the whole thing?
Yeah, we got to drink the whole thing and then refill it so that we got something for later. Mm-hmm. So the wine we got here is
it went through the wrong hole.
Oh no, that's they must know you're part of the goyim. It's this wine's trying to kill you. So it's a fun blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, about 44%, Merlot coming in about 26%, a Syrah at 18%, and then a Petite Syrah at 12%. And why do I feel like does that add up to 100? Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, no, that does add up to 100. Interesting.
It's hard to be on this side of the table and use my right arm, so.
Right? It's
I'm going to face the opposite direction for a moment.
You could drink it with the other arm now. You just had to hold it in the right.
No, I have to hold it like this.
Okay. It's a fun 13% or 13.5% alcohol content wine. This is Sagot from Sinai, the M series, and it is 2021. From Jerusalem. I'm going to be honest, it's a little light. I thought it would be a little bit more bold. I thought it'd be a little bit more hit ya. But
not very sweet.
It's not offensive by any means.
No.
It's very easy drinking.
Let's see. Tannins, like I don't know if there's like a scale. I'll make one up. Out of 5, it's a 2. You know, I'm not really feeling it like sit on my palate. I'm not getting
It's a bit watery.
Am I tasting, what is that? Cabernet? What is that I'm tasting?
Probably the Merlot. Merlot, for me, Merlot kind of has a tendency to make everything else a little placid. Whereas like Cab comes in, it kind of kicks in the door, swinging the 4-4, and then Merlot is just kind of like, hey, I thought I'd come join you guys. And
the Cab.
The Syrah and Petite Syrah are like,
they're just there
to bring them.
Yeah.
I like a Petite Syrah. That was just me, but I fuck with a Petite Syrah. And I wanted to get this wine specifically because the past few Passover Seders I've gone to, they did the things with Manischewitz, and Manischewitz is.
I'll be honest, I was scared. I don't want Manischewitz in my life anymore.
It is a traditional drink. It's, if you're by the book, you do Manischewitz, but it's not a good wine. I mean, that's when we were doing our episode about Slivovitz. I was like, what thing would Manischewitz, I guess, best represents like Jewishness, but it's not a good drink.
It's not, no.
Oh, and so let me finish this. But after we finish this, we're gonna do our first ritual hand washing. We're gonna pour water from a cup, or you can just like palm it over your hand. Pour water over each hand into the cup, and then we're not gonna recite a blessing at all. And this is just in preparation so that we can move on to the next thing. So I'm gonna finish up drinking this,
and then we do the hand thing.
Yeah,
I even have a little method ready. I'm ready.
You want to do it, and then while I'm finishing this, and
I'd like to finish first.
Okay. Oh, thank you for waiting. All right, go for it. I'm gonna go ahead and refill this
because this is how they do it when they do it in the sink like this. Only to do it like 8 times, right?
Yeah, they do it like a back and forth thing.
How many times? It's only once?
Just once.
Okay. I did it.
Boom, done.
Was that good? I think I did a good job. I'm into it. I'm like into it.
While I'm washing my hands, why don't you go ahead and grab a sprig of parsley here, and then we're gonna get ready to do the dipping of the sprig.
I like some parsley.
All right.
Honestly, I'm loving this.
We're all washed up.
God, I'm actually having so much fun right now.
So, all right, I'm gonna grab mine.
I think I grabbed way too much.
That's fine.
But now I have to eat.
You gotta eat it.
That's it.
You gotta eat. You gotta eat all of it.
All of it. You gotta eat all of it.
So now we're doing the dipping of the parsley in salt water, and I'm gonna go ahead and read the Parsley or any other vegetable, such as celery, potato, is dipped in salt water and then eaten. The parsley symbolizes both the humble origins of the Jewish people as well as the rebirth of spring, which is starting now. In Eastern Europe, where green vegetables were not as common, a potato was used instead. I did not know that.
Oh.
I've only ever used parsley. And then the salt water symbolizes the tears shed during slavery.
I put a lot of salt.
You salted the shit out of this.
I stirred
one,
in
dude.
everything.
And it is still like caked on the bottom. All right. Oh wait, I gotta say the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'adaman. There we go. Let's do it. That one just means blessed are you, God.
I went all the way in with the...
Oh no, it's just a dip. Oh, do it.
That's a dip.
Do however you want. Honestly, there's no wrong way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it. This one just says, thanks God for making all the fruit on the earth.
I've been off way more than I can chew.
Oh, God. Uh-huh. Yep, that's parsley and salt water.
Look, I did it, though.
Oh.
Look, I did it.
You did it. Yo, slavery, not cool, man. That is...
to be honest, I feel like white Americans would really benefit from, like, every 6 months, like, this being like, sit here, eat a bunch of bitter shit, and remember slavery.
That's... I'm going in again.
To be honest, I kind of like it a little bit.
It's getting me really excited for surfing season, to be honest. I love getting the whole, like, neti pot experience from just getting hit with a wave. Oh, it's just... All right. The next part is breaking the middle matzah. You got 3 pieces of matzah here. I'm going to take the middle one, middle matzah on the plate, broken in half.
Oh, my God. I remember being a little kid. I can imagine. I still remember. Because I can feel, like, being a little kid and wanting to, like, grow up to break the middle matzah. Or, like, searching to find it.
I always wanted to, I wanted to be the guy.
I know.
Like, no,
I can tell.
y'all didn't look like right here. Fucking idiots.
Oh, I feel like you also probably want to be the guy to crack the matzah, so you could be like, look how good I cracked the matzah.
You're like, damn, that is...
But I feel like you'd really have no control over it.
That is 50-50. I don't know. With the perforations on it, it can't be that hard.
Shh, break it that, you know... Man, I really taste a lot of salt water.
Let me skip forward a little bit just to see if I have to do any prayer while breaking the matzah. No, we're good. We're good.
All right.
Actually, there probably is a blessing or a prayer, but you know what? This is why it's abridged. All right, and so we break. Oh, that is unfortunate. All right. It wasn't a good break. It was the
abridged Passover.
The abridged Passover. All right, now I'm going to take this little napkin. You have to close your eyes. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to hide it. Fuck, hold on.
Oh, my God.
Just don't, no peeking.
Okay. So my eyes are closed, and I have no idea what's going on. To maintain good entertainment, I'm going to keep talking. I really want to open my fucking eyes, but I have no idea what's happening. I have to look for this fucking matzah. Do I have to get up? Oh, my God. Did you leave the room?
Maybe. Did I leave the studio to hide the afikomen? Only I know that.
Oh, my...
And everyone who just watched me. I'm
finding it. I'm gonna find it.
I'd like to see you fucking try.
Or if I don't, and I'm like on the couch or something, and I sit down on the couch in the morning right before work, and I crack it, and then I'm like late for work.
Fuck. It's in a napkin though. So
then the bus I get on, like the bus before is fine, the bus after is fine, but this bus.
Nope. What if I hid it in like your pants? That like, you're gonna be doing laundry and then you're gonna find it. You'll be like, son of a bitch.
I can't find it. I lay down in bed and I just like put my head on the pillow. And
God, I would love that.
Does it count as being found?
Yeah.
Hey,
as long as you find it. All right. So now we're getting into the telling the story of Passover, which we did the abridged version earlier. We're going to get into the 4 questions. There's 4 questions, 4 children, 4, 4, 4, 4, just like Jay-Z intended. So we're going to do the quick abridged version of the telling of Passover. And this is, there arose in Egypt a Pharaoh who knew not of the good deeds that Joseph had done for the country. Thus he enslaved the Jews and made their lives harsh. Harsh, dude.
I'm going to be real. True.
Through servitude and humiliation. This is the basis for the Passover holiday, which we commemorate with these different ritual rules tonight. So now, if you want to check your show notes,
I have right here.
You're gonna ask me a couple of different questions, and you're just gonna fire them off right after another, and then I'm gonna answer them with one just big
Gotcha.
exposition.
Let me know when I'm ready.
All right. So you got them all?
Yep.
All right. Youngest child, ask me your questions on this of Passover nights.
Why is this night different than all other nights? On all other nights, we eat bread or matzah. On this night, why only matzah?
'Cause
on all other nights, we eat regular herbs and veg. Why only bitter herbs tonight?
'Cause
on all other nights, we do not dip once. Why tonight do we dip twice? On all other nights, we eat in a regular manner. Why tonight do we eat reclined?
Oh shit! I forgot we were supposed to get all reclined. Oh, we're supposed to get comfy. That's what it. Okay. Oh, that's.
I'm comfy though.
Like when we get to the actual meal,
Yeah.
you get comfy
Yeah.
because like we did all of our hard
Why do
work.
we reclined?
We did. All right. To answer your questions, such your inquisition. We were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, and God brought us out with strong hands and big outstretched arms and a big white bushy beard and strong chest to hold us tight. Then he kissed our foreheads and
Black Jesus.
And if God had not brought our ancestors out of Egypt, and we and our children and our children's children would still be subjugated to Pharaoh in Egypt, even if we were all old and wise and learned in Torah, we would still be commanded to tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt. And the more we talk about the Exodus from Egypt, the more praiseworthy we are. Wait, what? Okay, that one's an interesting. That's a hot
it makes
take,
sense because
but,
it's really about like it's not just the Exodus to Egypt. It's like the more we share our history and make sure that we don't forget these very important things that happened to us,
the more we kind of get that. The more we feel self-assured, and that's how we not hate ourselves. But we eat the matzah
because it's a matter of appreciation. Because this is what it was, and we suffered the bitterness and the dryness and the extra effort of having to dip.
It dipped twice.
And to wash our hands because it's in honor of like the struggle, right? And the pain.
Mm-hmm.
But also like, it's not just like about how terrible it was. It's about how good it is now.
Exactly. That answers the question. We eat the matzah because we were trying to get the fuck out as quick as we could. We eat just the bitter herbs tonight to remind ourselves how bitter a time it was back then. We dip twice so that we can appreciate the fact that we can dip twice tonight. And we recline during the meal. Well, because fuck, our ancestors did all that hard ass work so that we can recline.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like with it, if they didn't do it, we'd still be working now.
That's a fact.
And then the next part is the 4 children. So we had those 4 questions, and we have 4 children. Torah describes 4 children who ask questions about the Exodus, and tradition teaches that these verses refer to the 4 different types of children. Slytherin, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw.
Oh, Wise, wicked, simple, and silent.
There you go.
Wise, Ravenclaw, wicked, Slytherin, silent, Hufflepuff. I guess you would call
Gryffindor is pretty simple.
Yeah.
They're just pretty like
they're just like, they're like, yeah, we want to be cops.
yeah, wizard cops. Freeze, buddy. So go ahead and ask the role of the children in this one. I just got you asking all the questions.
I got you. The wise child asks, "What are the laws that God has commanded us?"
Dude, there's so
Is it
many
weird if I do voices for them?
No, to get into character. What does the wise child sound like?
I just feel like the wise child would just talk normally.
Yeah,
because they're wise.
They're learned beyond their years.
I feel like the wicked child, I can't do it because I feel like it'll just be perceived as doing a negative Jewish stereotype. It's like,
you know how I hear the wicked child?
How?
Riley from the Boondocks. Why is today different than every other day? Why we got to do all this shit, Granddad?
Damn, Granddad. Why does Passover service mean to you? Or the simple child. What? That's a simple question. What is this? I feel like if this was 1990, I would just be able to I'd be getting some quick laughs. I'd be getting some quick laughs and really just being
some
Jesus fucking Christ. The child that doesn't know how to ask.
All right, so
what is that? The child that doesn't know how to ask.
It's the silent child.
Oh,
he doesn't know how to ask the question, so instead you just tell him.
I can do that one.
So
I can do that one.
Dude,
I can do that one.
The wise child. It's yeah. Oh, your pantomime. I love that. Oh yeah. Let it flow through you. Brilliant. It's really an interpretive dance of what is the story of Passover, and he emerges from his cocoon. What are the laws that God has commanded us? We don't eat the chametz. We got to eat all these things except for the sacrifice. We don't eat the beets. We don't eat the cycle of life. That's big rules. Don't eat don't eat the sacrifice. Don't eat the cycle of life. We got to do all these rules and stuff to follow Passover because it's what God told us to do, and hey, he bailed us out of that sticky situation. To answer the wicked child's question, it is because of what God did for me when I came out of Egypt. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be you answer as you answer as you were the ancestors,
right? So the wise child would be like, what are the laws that God has commanded us? Because the wise child is wise and is just looking to know what God is expecting of us.
Yeah. And so I'd tell you hey, I'm going to hide this here afikomen. After we get all through this thing, y'all are going to find it. Whoever wins, wins.
Man, what does this Passover mean to you? Because I think that question is meant to make you doubt.
Yeah. It comes from a space of dismissiveness where the kid is like, what
does this Passover mean to you?
You nailed it. And it is because of what God did for me when I came out of Egypt. Specifically me and not you. And if you had been there, you wouldn't have been redeemed. Little shit.
What?
You fucking you question God. You're a real piece of shit, kid. You know that?
What is this Seder service?
With a mighty hand.
What?
With a mighty hand, God brought us out of Egypt, and therefore we commemorate that event tonight, through this Seder. And speak up. Sorry, he's shy. This is actually kind of a cool thing because it's the child who doesn't know how to ask. You instigate the conversation and you bring them into it rather than just like being a kid at like a service and then everyone else is talking around you. Instead, it's like, and you shall tell your child that on that day we commemorate Passover tonight because of what God did for us when we went out of Egypt. And so you may not know what the fuck's going on, but one day you will. And when you do, and you have kids of your own, you're going to keep this whole rig rolling. Proud of you, kid.
Preach.
Let's see. Telling of Passover story continues. Yada, yada, yada. Jews endured harsh slavery in Egypt.
Yada, yada, yada. Slavery.
Slavery.
I feel like you never yada, yada slavery.
I yada yada whatever I fucking want to yada yada.
You're just at a bar, and it's like I didn't mean to yada yada her. It's like I just don't care about her pronouns. It's like I'm not transphobic. I don't care about her pronouns.
Yada yada yada.
I was hungry. She was talking about facial feminization surgery. I just wanted to get some chicken nuggets.
And they were getting cold. Am I just gonna let them get cold?
I'm progressive.
God chose Moses to lead the Jews to freedom, and Moses encountered God at the burning bush and then returned to Egypt to lead the people out of Egypt. He demanded that Pharaoh let the Jewish people go, and that part of our Passover story is best described in the familiar song, Go Down Moses.
Can I guess what the lyrics are?
Yeah, I mean, they're right here, but like, yeah, go.
Okay. Go down for Moses. He's really, really strong. He really bright. And his hair's really long. He part the big Red Sea. He did it for you and me. Go down for Moses. He'll go down for you. Go down on Moses. He'll go down for you.
Moses was notoriously the most generous lover the Jews had ever seen at that point in time. You know who's...
Oh my God, the story about whipping out the snakes is like, it's just translation.
He just pulled sausage on him.
He's just like, look at this. Everyone's like, oh.
Holy shit, he's packing.
You know, maybe he should be king.
Let's get that guy a crown of thorns. Wait, no, different thing. But you know whose code name was Moses, right?
Who?
Harriet Tubman.
Oh.
Because the song that they're referencing is actually a spiritual.
I had a feeling.
And I mean, like most great influential songs throughout history, it was written by Jewish people.
Can you sing the song?
I played this song on piano. I had a high school intro to piano class, and we were all assigned things to play. And I'm like, I hope I get Go Down Moses. I hope I get it. And I ended up like singing along with it while I was playing on piano. And so you gotta like, it almost needs like a when Israel was in Egypt's land, let my people go.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see this.
Oppressed so hard they could not stand.
Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people. It's let my people go. It's
let my people. Yeah, that's what Go Down Moses is.
The saith the Lord, but Moses said, "Let my people go."
Oh no, you have to remember this is still a Jewish song. You got to sing it in a minor key. You're getting way too happy with it. You're like,
Thus saith the Lord, but Moses said, Let my people go. If not, I'll smite your firstborn dead. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. No more shall they bondage toll. Let my people go. Let them come out Egypt's spoil.
Let my people go. But Pharaoh's heart hardened, and he refused to let the Jewish people go, and that is why God sent the 10 plagues. Oh, this is a fun one. So now
I'm here. This is fun. Okay.
So now it's tradition. This is a fun. We're getting into this. This is why.
All right.
This is why I'm like there's a lot of crossover between just the way Jews remember their suffering and like the more recent suffering of Black people in America. It's a Venn diagram, my dude. Just give it a couple thousand years, and you guys will be running shit.
We're on everything.
Everything. So now,
do we think our sponsor this week? No, I'm not going to make a Jewish cabal joke. I'm not.
Can I make a Black American cabal joke?
I mean, but that's definitely a joke.
Sponsored by the NBA. No,
I'm going to say it's going to be Oprah. Does Oprah by herself?
Sponsored by the Illuminati. That one still feels like a Jewish cabal joke.
But it is, though. But it's like funny because it's totally like Jewish racism, but like Kanye's face and Jay-Z and like Oprah.
Yeah. It's the same. It's the same. Like,
because they're Jews.
Well, they think they are.
More wine.
Yeah, no, we don't drink it yet because we did wash our hands. So now it's tradition to remove 10 drops of wine from our cup as we recite the 10 plagues as remembrance that while the Jews were redeemed...
Does it matter which hand?
No. It don't matter. People did suffer. Like we still dealt with the plagues as they were coming through. So now we're going to remove each drop of wine as we recite the name of the thing. So the first one is blood, and that's
blood.
Wait, hold on. My fingers aren't long enough. Sorry. I need a little bit more. Are you good?
I'll take a little more.
Okay.
Because it's good. It's good. It's tasty. All right. I already did my one for.
Okay, so you got damn, which that's the. I'm gonna do just the English versions. Then you got blood, and then frogs, and then vermin. And then beasts. And then cattle disease. That's an interesting one. Boils. That's another fun one. Hail.
Definitely left a good one for last.
And then we get to the locusts.
That's the one people know about. That one's pretty fun.
That one's an exciting one.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the darkness. I believe in a thing
I was
called
just
love.
thinking that. I was just thinking that, and I was like, should I?
I'm glad we were on the same page on that. Yeah. And then last one, slaying of the firstborn. All the rest of them are like minor inconveniences, and then the slaying of the firstborn is like, and fuck your family. I don't.
You love the way the firstborn dead tastes. Gotcha.
Oh, it's delicious. Following the slaying of the firstborn, Pharaoh allowed the Jewish people to leave, and the Jews left Egypt in such haste that their dough didn't even rise, and so they were forced to eat matzah. When Pharaoh changed his mind and chased after the Israelites, God miraculously caused the Red Sea to split, allowing the Israelites to cross safely. When the Egyptians entered the sea, it returned to its natural state, and the mighty Egyptian army was swallowed up and drowned.
I'm enthralled.
That's fucking wild, ain't it not? Okay, all right. So now we got my favorite one. It's Diane. Fuck. I should know how to say this,
but you don't.
Hebrew, but I don't. As we conclude telling the story of Passover, we sing a little sing-song listing all the wonderful acts God performed for the Israelites.
All right.
So, Elu Hotzianu, Mitziraim, Dayenu.
Dayenu.
And it's I only know the chorus, but it's Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. And then the English version is, if God would have taken us out of Egypt and not executed judgment upon them, that would have been good enough. If he would have executed judgment upon them and not upon their idols, that would have been good enough. If he would have judged their idols and not killed their firstborn, that would have been enough for us. If he would have killed their firstborn and not given us their wealth, that would have been enough for us too. If he would have given us their wealth and not split the sea for us, that would have been enough. If he would have split the sea for us and not let us through to dry land, that would have been enough too.
I feel like that's a little cope.
That was.
It's like whatever God gives us, even if he didn't do nothing.
He could have just like taken us out of Egypt.
He could have spat in our faces. That would have been
Yeah,
enough.
that would have been good enough. If wait, shit. Okay, wait. No, let's re-look at that line, because if he would have split the sea for us and not let us through it on dry land, that would have been enough for us. And then you go back to the first one, and it's if God would have just taken us out of Egypt and not executed judgment upon them, that would have been. The whole song is like, we would have rather died than stayed there.
Oof.
I didn't really get the gravity of that until just now, where it's like, yo, if he would have just
dead babies,
if he would have just murked us off, that would have been good enough, because at least we wouldn't have to still put up with that shit. Wow.
How do we get to 2 more glasses of wine?
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. If he would have let us through on dry land and not drowned our enemies in it, that would have been enough too.
That would have been enough.
And if he would have drowned our enemies in it and not provided for our needs in the desert for 40 years, that would have been enough for us. So, that's the story of Passover. That's the thing. Let's see what we got.
The end. Happy ending.
And that's our story.
That's the end.
Stan's dead.
And then the Jews like lived happily ever after.
And then nothing bad ever happened to the Jewish people ever again. Then we got a little in this Haggadah, there's a little explanation of all the different things, but we've kind of said that to death at this point. What else we got? A couple Psalms.
He's like Psalms, peace.
I'm like, okay. Now, all right, we're getting to the good stuff.
The wine.
A blessing is then said over the second cup of wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu malach haolam borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, our God, King of the universe, who creates the fruit of the vine.
Who creates the fruit of the vine. Right hand or left hand?
Just fucking drink it. Just at this point in the Passover Seder, all of the parents are just like, fuck, it is so taxing to just get these kids to pay attention this entire time.
Like we just like skip
just,
to the
drink the second glass of wine.
1 fish, 2 fish, blue fish, Jewfish.
And duck, wine. So after this, we're going to do our second ritual hand washing. Now, keep in mind, this is all done before we even get to the meal. Because, like, there's supposed to be a big feast.
Drinking before the meal.
Drinking 4 glasses of wine before you get to the meal.
I'm literally drinking 4 glasses of wine, and then I'm going to go to bed. Fuck. And then I have to then I'll get up for work.
And that is what he hath command. This part's actually getting kind of fun. All right, so we're gonna down this. Oh yeah. Woo. So now we're gonna do our second ritual hand washing. And go ahead and do that. And then after we do that, I'm gonna do one more blessing, and then you do blessing before the Seder meal.
Beautiful.
And actually, hold on.
Yeah, they do. I know. Whoa, maybe the wine.
Now the Seders I've been to before, it's like a sip. It's not like
I had a feeling.
It's not a glass.
I know.
Of
They
wine.
give you like they give you like the bottom of the wine, like you go to Olive Garden.
Yeah,
and they bring you a taster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, we're just down in fucking glasses. Okay. So now that we did our set, we do this one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'vitzivanu nitalat yadayim. And that one's God,
I'm like way too excited to be.
Thanks, Daddy God. Yeah.
Thanks, Papa
He
Jesus.
sanctified us with his laws and commanded us to wash our goddamn hands. Should I say goddamn when I'm talking about bless? I don't know.
No, only if you say goddamn.
Goddamn. It's with a T. Like
goddamn. Because it's not the Lord.
No.
It's God. Goddamn.
It's almost one full word. GAWDD.
Fuck. There's like a Z in there somewhere.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Goddamn.
Oh, okay. Let's see. The Motzi blessing is a reciting at the beginning of the Seder meal. Tonight we use matzah only. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings bread from the earth. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz. I'm starting to slur over here a little bit.
You're like Haaretz.
Haaretz. Are we getting to the part where we make the little sandwich? Oh no. Okay. All right. Grab a pizza matzah.
Broken one or a new one?
Whatever piece you want. Just you can break off a piece.
Break off a piece of that.
Matzah.
God damn.
Break me off a piece of that matzah roll.
Do I eat it?
Not yet. Not just
smell
yet.
it?
You can sniff it. Matzah is passed among the Seder participants,
I'm really weird.
and then it's eaten. And the serving can be supplemented by extra pieces of matzah. What do you win for eating your matzah? More matzah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'vitzivanu al achalat matzah.
Matzah.
Let me get a piece of that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so dry.
This is the greatest audio experience of your life. Hold on.
We could turn this into like some Jewish ASMR.
Hello. This is Was That in Good Taste? Passover ASMR. My name is James.
And I'm Chandler.
Here we go.
We just recited our matzah prayer. That's good matzah.
I'm sorry, I can't.
That's just enough salt.
Need some hot sauce.
Well, we're in luck because now.
Hold on, wait, one more. Hold on. Now we're back. This is ASMR with What's That in Good Taste? Here we go.
I hate this. Okay, enough. All right. We got to get through this, damn it.
I'm so dry.
All right, so now we got to eat this horseradish now. So now we got to eat the maror, and this whole thing is to symbolize just how fucking we did the salt, we did the parsley and the salt water.
And I can supplement with the matzah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's what the romaine lettuce is here to kind of help with that too. That's what
to
I'm
eat that
use.
Whenever.
No, to eat it with the.
Oh, that's what it's there
with
for.
The maror. Yeah. Okay. So now we're doing our bitter herbs. It's a beet horseradish that we got here. Whew. Excuse me.
Making myself a little
smorgasbord. I took a nice little squash of that. This is, blessed are you, our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his laws and commanded us to eat these bitter herbs. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu malach haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotov v'vitzvanu al achalat maror.
We're about to eat fucking raw horseradish. Let's go.
Let's get it out. Honestly, that's pretty good. I like that. With the beets or with the beet juice, that's a good horseradish. That's not even as spicy as like a regular horseradish. I'm kind of here for it. I also really like wasabi and stuff in general. So like,
yeah. And most wasabi is really just horseradish.
Yeah. Dude, this sushi place I've been going to, they got really good sushi, but they don't give enough wasabi. And it's kind of a pity because I'm like, come on, guys. I'm like trying to feel something. Like I can't do like hot sauces because it like upsets my acid reflux. But like wasabi is, there's certain in this world there are 3 types of spicy people. There's red team, blue team, and yellow team, just like Pokemon Go. And red team is like the pepper kind of spice, like what's the term for the Scoville thing? Like it's not psilocybin, it's capsaicin. That's what it is. And then you got blue team, and that's like mint and stuff like that, like that kind of spicy. And then you got yellow team, and they're about the wasabi, horseradish, like that sinusy kind of spicy. And I'm a sinusy spicy gal.
Me too.
That's my favorite. I love a good spice. You want another little bit, don't you?
I'm enjoying.
You're looking at that plate like, all right, what's next?
What's next? Because it was delicious.
Actually, what's next is objectively the best part. What's next is the matzah and charaset sandwich. Korech. Yeah. So each person makes a little sandwich using 2 pieces of matzah with maror and charaset. We got these little apples and nuts and a little splash of wine and some sugar and just a tiny bit of spices. And so you want to do just a little bit of sandwich action in there. And this symbolizes the mortar used by the Jewish people to make bricks.
I'm actually going to do a little.
Do what you got to do. Get that thing all stacked up.
All right, whatever. It's hard. It's matzah.
This is why I'm like, wait, soft matzah exists? This is fucking crazy. Again, I thought
I'm excited.
I thought that the point of matzah was to be relatively difficult because it's fucking tough to make a sandwich out of all this.
I agree.
And yet, I forgot I had the entire bowl of it over here. Thank you.
I'm here to help.
Oh, thanks.
Need a little more there?
Yeah.
There you go, perfect. Papa. There you go.
Now we got our little charaset sandwich. This is done in commemoration of an enactment made by the great sage Hillel, who lived in the same time as the Second Temple, to eat the Passover sacrifice together with matzah and maror in the sandwich.
I'm eating apple wine nut with beet horseradish. I didn't think it's down my throat before I fucking just like.
I think you're going to be surprised with how.
I feel like it's going to be good, low key.
You actually like it. I'm looking. Let's see. Nope. I don't have an explicit blessing to say over. I'm sure there is one. I don't have it up on my Haggadah. Right.
Eloheinu.
It's Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu
Melech
Aluam
Asher Kiddishanu.
Kiddishanu.
B'mitzvah.
B'mitzvah.
Tov.
Tov.
Vitz.
Vitz.
Ivanu.
Ivanu.
Al.
Achilat.
And then let's just say Charaset or Korech. Either way.
Korech.
Basically, all of it just says, blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his laws and commanded us to eat, da-da-da-da-da. And that's what this is. This is the da-da-da-da-da.
What does it go? Up, down the gullet? No. Open your mouth.
Past the toes.
Past the toes.
Look out, stomach. Here it
goes.
Oh, whoa. I almost went.
I couldn't be Jewish.
Uh-huh. I made my sandwich a little too big because it just kind of crumbled, and now it's like in my lap. Honestly, I don't hate it. Something about, like, I don't like sweet pickles, but I like sweet things with pickles. Honestly, I think
the textures are just fucking me up. It's like, I don't know what's happening here.
Jews fuck with charcuterie heavy, but so long as it's not meat and cheese. You know what I mean? It can't be on the same plate. You can have a cheese platter, you can have a meat platter, but you can't do the same.
Oh, God, when do we get more wine? Oh, man, I definitely do feel the torture of being a slave in fucking ancient Egypt, traversing through the desert for 40 years. Like, holy shit. That fucking matzah definitely makes me fucking feel like
it does kind of feel like
class of people
eating mortar a bit.
It tastes like crack epidemic. Like, I understand. I feel like we have a lot in common.
So now typically we would say, we would do say a grace before the meal.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. Fuck, I forgot. I started good though.
It's easier to learn it kind of in a sing-songy manner.
Baruch atah. That's why I remember the beginning, because it's Baruch atah Elohai.
Oh, close.
Oh, fuck.
Adonai,
because that's the Adonai Eloheinu.
Mm-hmm.
Then I forget, but I remember the beginning because it feels like it rhymes.
It's
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvah, and then like it's very
hey.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Grace. We're saying grace after the meal. A cup of red wine is refilled. Grace after the meal is recited. We didn't have a fucking meal, so we're going to skip that part and just move on to the third cup of wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. And then I'd say something else.
Can I see? May I try?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go.
Say it's the one on top right there.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Oh, fuck.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's just, hey.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. I do not. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Like, fast.
It's, yeah. Like, I mean, I learned it listening to my mom do it just while, like, we would occasionally do the lighting of the Hanukkah candle and the Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. That's kind of the universal.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I only know that's why I know the beginning of that one, because
that's essentially the to whom it may concern of Jewish prayers.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we drink our third cup of wine, and after this one, we got a fourth one that we got to get ready for. Oh wait, do we? Oh no, you're good. You're good. I just had to. I was worried that, like, we had to pour one out for Elijah now, but he gets one on the 4th cup.
I poured these glasses pretty heavy too this time.
Hell yeah. We drank the 3rd cup of wine. And now we got to welcome Elijah. Ladies and gentlemen, our musical guest, the prophet Elijah.
Hey, it's Elijah. What? I feel like that's really disrespectful. I take that back.
I'm just picturing like an SNL host, and it's just, ladies and gentlemen, the prophet Elijah. Woo! Yeah! And then it's like some song that's like, idle, diddle, diddle, deedle, diddle, dum.
He did it, not me.
Yeah, I can. I
mean,
I can go Fiddler on the Roof with this.
I mean, so could I.
I mean, yeah.
And I could probably get away with it too.
If it weren't for those meddling kids.
If it wasn't for Kanye.
That's true. He kind of ruined it for everyone.
Because like black people were going around being perfectly anti-Semitic without him.
Well, I mean,
you got to go just be like, I
you
love
are
Hitler.
one of the real Israelites. So.
You know.
Dude,
it's hard with the...
This wine is hitting hard.
Come on, let's go. We got 13 minutes.
Okay, all right, we can finish this up.
We're super special episode.
Elijah, welcome in. We're getting ready our 4th and final cup. It's filled. We're getting it filled. An additional cup is filled and set aside for the prophet Elijah, Eliyahu. Tradition.
Actually, there's only about 4 glasses in the
wait,
bottle.
Wait. You can't empty it.
Wait. I'm going to give him a little bit.
Whoa. How bro, it's like we're setting out milk and cookies for Santa.
Yeah, but we have to spill it, and then it's going to be all over something, or pour it into like okay. Look.
You got to give him more than that. Again, it's like setting
a little bit from your cuppeth.
Okay. My cuppeth runneth over.
No, because this is better, I think.
We each kind of share a
little bit.
I
feel like this is we grew it a little bit ourselves.
It's a little bit more even Stevens. Okay, cool beans. All right, that's enough to get him to come, because Elijah's kind of like a fun aunt, where he's like, if there's not wine at the party, am I even coming? Tradition says that Elijah, who will precede the arrival of the Messiah, makes an appearance at every Seder. We traditionally open the door to the home and allow Elijah to enter and sing the song Eliyahu Hanavi. I'm not gonna sing this song mainly because like I could try to pronounce these things. Fuck it. I'm gonna sing it and then you're gonna say the translation. So it's Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hadashabi, Eliyahu Hagaladi, B'mehira Yavo Elianu, I'm Machiach ben David. I don't know if that was the song. Oh yeah, that was.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, there you go.
Elijah is the prophet. Elijah the Tishbite. Elijah the Gladite. May he come speedily to us in our days along the Messiah, the son of David. I don't know. I was trying to go.
No,
with the
you
same.
hit it. I like it.
Yeah, I like that. That was good.
Jewish prayer songs don't really have like a solid like closure to them. It's just like da 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 da.
It's even like the holiday. It's like Moses parted the sea, and then they went to the desert to be continued, and then it's the next holiday.
It's like a JoJo episode.
Yeah,
it's like to be continued.
I've only ever watched 3 episodes, and I just thought it was very confusing.
Yeah,
and everybody was like, "Just skip to like 7 episodes." I'm like, I have to.
And it's like, why? Why am I gonna skip?
Yeah, why watch it? If I have to skip the like first half, like 10 episodes, why watch it?
Exactly. That's okay. We're skipping a couple psalms.
You know what they are.
Yeah, this is praises and blessings. Bless up. Big ups to God. Like, even the whole, like, Rastafarianism just takes the whole Zion thing from...
That's true.
Like, Israelite thing. It's just, there's so much crossover. How is there still anti-Semitism in the black community? I don't get it.
I'm going to tell you why. Because they're not drinking a whole bottle of wine.
Because they're not downing a whole bottle of wine with their Jewish friends. That's the problem.
I'm holding the glass. So I'm like, wine.
All right, this is the last one. We got our closing section.
Ooh.
And then we're doing our fourth cup. So this one's for Elijah too. You want to lead us on this one?
Oh. So this is the blessing over the fourth cup.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a whole fucking...
It's a whole last page of Psalms.
There's selections from Psalms. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy. And ooh, I don't know. Man, they be doing so good. This is the blessing over the fourth cup. What the? Oh, sorry. I was reading the wrong thing. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe.
Master of the universe.
Who creates the fruit of wine.
He'll save every one of us.
Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu melech halom bara puri. I always get stuck there. How do you put bara?
Baruch.
Baru. But I don't see a K.
It's
phonic.
It's a k. It's a k.
Baruch.
There you go. There you go.
Baruch.
Uh-huh.
Pre.
Oh, wait. I thought you were starting at the...
No.
No,
Baruch.
No, that's
Beret. Beret. Oh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech halam beret pri hagaten.
Fen.
There's
an F.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech halam beret pri hagata. I'm trying.
I appreciate,
but I feel it though.
You're so close.
I feel like I'm close. I just But
Baruch, that's the thing. It's all about the spirit.
I can say it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech halom.
Wait, actually, no, I fucked up. Olam.
Olam bara pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech halom. Fuck bara pri hagata. I'm trying, man.
You're doing really good.
If you gave me like 15 solid minutes
for a language that you're not versed in, and
I know nothing about it,
and also being 5, 6, 8 drinks in, we're crushing it. You're crushing it, right?
Atah Adonai Eloheinu. I love it. I feel like I'm not joking. It feels like when you hear it, the Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech. Fuck. I have to see it. I feel it. I feel it. There's I
can feel it.
And it's also way better than Christian, our God is an awesome God. He is and it's like I feel like a lot of Christian psalms
they have some bangers.
But they're it's like the flow rider of fucking hymns though. Look, okay,
you said it though, because all right. Grace was showing me the Gersons, some like southern hymn gospel singers, and as I'm listening to it, I'm like, yeah, their harmonies are tight, but it feels so factory manufactured,
It is the vibe is when you hear this. I'm not joking. It feels like I'm not even trying to be when you're in a church and they hand you the hymns, but the hymns are the hymns that were sung by your grandmother. You know what I mean? Not alone in the manger, no crib for a bed. I'll let to Lord Jesus lays down his sweet head. It sounds like somebody went into a studio.
It's like a nursery rhyme.
It's like a nurse. You know what I mean? Like, all the Christian songs are too good.
But here's the thing, though. Gospel music.
I mean, it's kind of banging, though.
Is banging, though.
I love gospel music. I be feeling the spirit. I be forgetting myself sometimes. Like, I be at work, and I be like, I see a gay person, and I'm like, yes, and I'm like, oh, I've been listening too much. I've been listening to too much gospel.
Oh, I'm not even going that far. I'm on the, like, you seen Sister Act 2?
I have.
The soundtrack to Sister Act 2, fucking banger. The soundtrack to Sister Act 2 made me go, I wonder if I joined a gospel choir. Would that like be a contradiction of things? Because I really don't want to sing about Jesus, but fuck, they make it look so fun.
How do we drink this?
We slam it.
Is that it?
You said the prayer. If we don't drink it now, then it's like spitting in the face of God, and he just let us out of Egypt.
Well, I mean...
Whoa.
Whoa.
I think the next Passover episode we do, we cosplay it.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not even trying to, like, it's interesting. And one of the things that I feel like we talk about sometimes is like, I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in God, but like, I grew up in the church, and like, so I just have like, I'm sorry. Like, I obviously, like, Christianity sucks, all that stuff. It's all terrible. You know what I mean? I get it. It's terrible. Okay.
I get it.
But like, I had good memories and nothing really super bad happened to me. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm lying. There is trauma, but it's like, but it's not the same. I don't have the same trauma. I grew up like in New York. You don't have church trauma in New York. I mean, you do, but not.
You got to go to Boston for that.
Hey, I know there's somebody here.
Got 'em.
There's somebody here, and they're like, oh, I'm from New York, and you don't know what you're talking about. I'm making a fucking joke, okay? Like, obviously, like,
I think it's interesting the difference in our religious affiliations, because I mean, you're having fun doing this. I'm having fun doing this with you. I didn't grow up particularly religious at all. You had some affiliation with Christianity. You dabbled in Islam and you dabbled in Judaism at certain points.
Casting spells and shit too. Let's go. If there was a religion, I hit it. I hit it on the
I hit them all. I tapped a little bit of Hinduism, and
I get it. Of course.
Fucking Vishnu's kind of
Kali Ma, man.
She.
Fucking chopping off the penis of rapists. Let's go.
I can dig it. But for me doing stuff like this isn't necessarily about thanking God, because I mean, like, enough people thank him. Like, if he's listening, if she's there.
She's not. But if she were.
If any of them decided to be the head one in charge.
Wow, it's almost like, like people are not like one or the other about everything, and people are complex, and like people are interesting and cool, and like, I get it, like colonialism and like shit or whatever, but like, fuck it, like some stuff is like kind of cool, it has a lot of history to it, and whatever, like, don't rape children, okay? Like, I don't know. If your choice is
that's
like
a hell of a transition.
I'm just saying, like, like if it's like, man, I sure do love Catholicism, but I have to turn my eye to like the assault of children, then like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm cool, whatever. You want to go to church and like praise God, and then you go to work and you like do regular stuff, and then you just like whatever, like, that's fine. Who cares? Like,
I'm just about like giving credit where credit's due. Look, even if God was involved in this whole shit, Moses got him out, and each of these individual Israelites who were in Egypt, they were the ones walking their ass out the place. They did the walkout. They were the ones who striked. They were the ones who unionized. And I think whatever higher powers that may have like just kind of given them the tenacity, not given them, but like was allowing whatever theological stance that my supposed great ancestors adhered to in order to find the courage to lift themselves up out of destitution. Fuck yeah. Power to the people. That's what Passover is all about. It's just power to the people. The Jewish people. And I just happen to be one of them. And also I just kind of didn't really grow up with a strong Jewish influence, and so anytime I get to both practice and share it with people who also aren't Jewish.
I feel like the Jewish experience is a little different than I think the ubiquitous Christian experience in America, because you go anywhere, like there's some form of Christianity just like banding about, right? You know, just like running rampant. And so like
making sure you know about it.
Yeah. So like, you know, if you fucking and like Mormons and shit, so like, you know, I know people out here are like, Jews control everything, but like they don't. They're like a mega minority, and like, oh boy, okay, fine, okay, you know what? Okay, the Jews control Hollywood. Now what? Okay, they do. Okay, fine, they do. What is it? They do now. I say yes, and it literally does nothing. It changes nothing. It benefits nothing, because not only is it not true, but even if it was, fine, they do. Everything that everybody says is true about them running Hollywood.
It's like, all right, Jews control Hollywood, okay? Who controls those Jews? Huh?
Right?
Right?
Like, come the fuck on.
Like, we know who actually
BlackRock.
Wait, what? Wait,
like BlackRock is like one of, you know, it's like Vanguard and BlackRock pretty much like own pretty much like every company. And in France, you know how they're like protesting right now?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but they're actually, because this is a fucking.
I know France is protesting.
They're not covering what they're protesting, because they're like, oh, it's because they're worried about they're changing the age to 65 when they retire to get a pension or whatever from the government. They're protesting BlackRock. They're outside of BlackRock trying to light the building on fire.
Oh, good for them.
I'm just saying, though, but it's not being covered anywhere. And like, I'm not out here like, everything's a conspiracy theory, you know, because it's not really conspiracy theory. This is like media, you know, that's just how media plays. Yeah. You know, it affects them, so they're not going to do it. When it comes to like, I think Judaism is like, this gets like such a fucking weird rap when like, it's like trans people. There's like one trans like woman. It's never a trans dude, because, you know, because they're still women. It's because, but no, you know, there's no there's like, you know, there's like one trans woman fucking chilling in like, you know, Florida, and like one school district losing like 6 out of 10 matches, but like one of the 4 they won was like pretty decisive, and so now they're like passing a law, like, you know, to like feel up trans people. It's like,
oh, to like make sure they pass like genital inspections.
But you know, you could, but like there's like 2 people, you know, there was like 4, but like 3 graduated, or like 2 graduated and 1's graduating soon or some shit like that. It's like, you know, like people are fucking upset about Jewish people and shit, when like Jewish people like have no fucking power. Of all the white people, like it's better to just like,
there still
not
hasn't been
Jewish and just like pretend that you're just like not Jewish. You literally would benefit more from just like being, which is what, like, yes, there are lots of Jewish people in power, probably because like they just like turn off the Jewishness. They probably just turned it off, and they probably just like, you know, like if there's Jewish people in control, it's not because they're Jewish. If anything,
it's explicitly because they hid their Jewishness.
It's explicitly because like they hid it for long enough until like they just like, you know.
So I've been doing a joke at Mike's and stuff lately about how like I didn't realize that Jonah Hill was Jewish until Kanye mentioned it. And I guess it makes sense. Like, his name is Jonah, and like he made an entire documentary about how awesome his therapist is, and like, so that makes sense. Like, it checks out, it checks all the boxes. But like, he doesn't go by his actual Jewish last name, and you see this so often in Hollywood, because it's not just like it's a better acting name or it's a better stage name. There's an active effort to conceal or tone down your Jewishness.
100%.
And This, by the way, side note, this is just why I love Passover as a holiday so much, because like part of Passover is just like, how can you take the lessons and the just the topics of Passover and apply them to contemporary situations as best as possible. Last year, I remember I was at a family Seder, and we were talking about the oppression of the Ukrainians under the Russian invasion and stuff like that. But really, Passover is about fighting against oppression in all of its forms. And
I mean,
rebelling against authority, the divine obligation that individuals have to rebel against an unjust authority.
That's why I like follow some rabbis accidentally, because I didn't mean to. Like, because you follow people on TikTok, and like, you know, in some ways they do have regressive views because they're like very religious, but also they're like low key progressive. Because whenever they're approached, and of course I'm like paraphrasing, like, you know, but what I see is like, you know, they're approached with like a question, and it's like about trans people. And the answer for even the most like religious Jewish person that you see on TikTok, which of course is like a sample bias of its own.
That's true.
Right? But like, it's usually just like, even if they don't like it, they just try really hard to not say that, because they don't want to hurt people's feelings and they want to like encourage people. It's like very, it's different. It's different than the way that like you see that from like, you know, and I'm not going to say, because I mean, obviously there are definitely some imams that are like, you know, like you talk to like any imam, if you walk into a mosque, for most like, you know, most imams would be like, whatever, if you identify whatever, then that's where you'll sit in the fucking mosque.
Yeah.
You know, like, even if they're aggressive, you know, those two religions, I think, seem to have very different way of approaching even the things they disagree with. Yeah. You know, some bigot out there is going to be like, well, the Muslims they're blowing up the World Trade Center. I'm going to just say that like a huge portion of like the Arab world being destabilized by like outside forces contributed to that more than Islam did. I'm just saying. You know, when they're yelling Allahu Akbar and blowing themselves up, I'm just saying that, like, you know, God is not the one that like destroyed all their land, took away all their food, and like destabilized their whole country. So like, you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm not saying that what they're doing is right. I'm just saying that, like, you know,
you understand where the frustration comes
like,
from.
It definitely, it doesn't come from like that is like a reaction to like colonialism. That's a reaction to colonialism. It has nothing to do with like any fucking religion, you know. And I can blame, of course, I do know there's like sexism in Judaism and like violence in Islam and all those things, you know.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, it's like we were talking about earlier. Every extremely traditional or extreme conservative sect of any religious branch is gonna have either it's steeped in misogyny or homophobia or racism. Like even Buddhism, which is known as like the most passive.
Did you see what the Dalai Lama did this week?
Yeah,
this is come on, bro.
Comedian's been having a field day with
I love
this
how
one.
we just turned into like a whole little side episode. It's a special episode.
It's a very special episode.
You know, it's the Passover, okay? The fucking Dalai Lama.
You think we're gonna pass over that?
Just get like, you know, like, listen, I'm not saying, but like, I get, is this like a thing? Which is why, like, you know, even though it's like gross, I didn't decide like we should burn Joe Biden at the stake because he's like out here trying to kiss babies and tussle little girls' hair. He's so old that like that's what they used to do to like get votes. Okay, that's like an old political strategy to like
wait,
the
you
kissing
saying
babies.
Dalai Lama having a kid bite his tongue is an old political strategy?
No, because that's the see. This is why these things are not good, right? Because the Dalai Lama is like the Dalai Lama, right? You want the Dalai Lama to hold your baby, you fucking Dalai Lama, give me a kiss. You know? And then the Dalai Lama was like, stick your tongue in my mouth?
Was it that, or was he? Because what I heard.
And then he said it was a joke later. He said that he was playing around.
Huh. Huh.
The Dalai Lama's had girls sleep in the bed with him and stuff. There's a lot of stuff about the Dalai Lama. We know this.
Well, even fucking Indira Gandhi was like, well, I'm gonna sleep naked or sleep in a bed next to like my nieces and stuff, and to
I mean,
show.
But she was murdered by sheiks, right? So I mean,
to
like,
show just how chaste and virtuous I am, I'm gonna sleep in the same bed with underage women to prove.
I'm just saying that she got murdered and betrayed by like the closest in her circle. I mean, she got. I'm just saying. Didn't Indira Gandhi? Wasn't she the one who got assassinated? Wasn't she the one who got assassinated? Yeah,
no,
she's the one
wait,
who got assassinated.
I'm thinking of Mahatma Gandhi, but never mind.
Yes.
I got the words mixed up. Mahatma Gandhi had fucking underage girls sleeping in bed with him just to show. Indira Gandhi, that's a different one.
Can I just say though?
My bad.
The reason why I didn't doubt it,
because like overly religious people do some fucking weird ass shit, man. Even Jesus did some weird ass shit, man. Like
I made the joke earlier, talking about laying hands.
What was all the washing people's feet and stuff?
You think if Jesus was alive right now, he'd be on like Feet Finder?
Hell yeah, dude. He'd be like, "That's a dirty fucking foot."
Yeah, look at the
I would love. Dude,
I dated some of Web Toes once.
I have web toes. Do you not know this?
I do know this.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. It's like different. I don't know.
Because it was me.
Her also,
you were the one. I was the one you were dating.
She just said like webbed fingers a little bit.
Interesting.
A lot of people have that apparently.
It just has to do with like when a certain enzyme during prenatal development.
God, we finished this whole bottle of wine.
We
just like we have to finish this episode.
Wait, so yeah,
we have one more.
We got a closing section.
That's why I'm throwing it to you.
We conclude this official part of the Seder with a final prayer asking God to bring the Messianic era. It already kind of feels like it's upon us, if you know what I mean. When all of us will be gathered to Jerusalem, as all humankind dwells in peace. We have finished the Passover Seder according to its precepts and customs, or as close as we could get to that. Next year, in Jerusalem, Lashana Haba Be Jerusalem. And next year, may we dwell in peace.
I really like this because Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu, that shit works for everything.
It really hits.
God,
I'm gonna sample it. We should do it.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu.
Asher Kiddushanu of Mitzvah Tov, something else. And this has been Was That in Good Taste. Thank you for joining us on our very special Passover Seder. Be sure to join us next year. And actually, we should do a Juneteenth Passover Seder.
Oh fuck. Oh, I have so many fucking ideas.
I actually have 2 books that do crossover between kosher and soul food.
What I was gonna be so bad. My thoughts. I was gonna on my Seder plate was gonna be wild.
I cannot wait. But we should totally do that.
We definitely should. Oh man, that has been Was That in Good Taste? As always, like, man, we don't always have Passover, but I'm James
and I'm Chandler.
Do I get a Jewish name?
I don't even have a Jewish name.
Oh. My Jewish name is James. It's from the Bible.
Yeah. Wait. Which story has James in it?
A lot of them. James is just like...
Oh, it's the story about the one with the giant peach. This has been Was That in Good Taste. Drinking
is not
required, but it is recommended. Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
It's not Shabbat. You can't say that.
Oh.
You're so
sorry.
silly.
I tried. We never ate a beat. We
don't have to.
I see the beat.
It's about sacrifice.
Sacrifice the beat. Let's go.
Oh.